What's up, guys? We are talking about Power Rangers today, and this kind of came up because of the recent Power Rangers Lightning reviews that I did. Finally got a chance to take a look at these figures, so it got me thinking about which figures or which characters that I really want to see in this line. So I put together a list, like we do every now and again, of the top 10 Rangers that I want to see in the Lightning collection. And some of these are kind of odd, some of these are maybe not what you might expect, and this list includes 0 Power Rangers from Mighty Morphin and from Zeo. It is a guarantee that we're going to get every single one of those. There is no doubt in my mind. I kind of expect we're going to eventually, assuming this line pans out, get everything anyway. But these are some of the Rangers that I want to see sooner rather than later, because we know that they're going for kind of an anthology line where we don't get specific teams, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to get them here and there. So we've got White Ranger already from MMPR, and we're getting Pink Ranger in second wave, for example, stuff like that. And then I'm also going to do another video, a companion piece, with some of the monsters that I want to see, but that one's going to be a little different. So we're going to jump in, and this list is really not in any kind of order. These are just the 10 that I want, because if I'm going to be perfectly honest, my top picks are going to be MMPR and Zeo, just because, that's what I watched when I was a kid, because I was in Power Rangers from day one. But these are some of the Rangers that I want to see, mostly based off of designs, and then just some, interest as far as characters go for me personally, or what they are. They're not all mainline Rangers. Some of them are 6th Rangers, some of them are extra heroes, stuff like that. So we're going to jump right in and take a look at not necessarily my number 10 pick, but the first Ranger on the list, and that would be Dino Charge Silver. So, maybe spoilers if you've never seen it. This is one of the mentor type of characters, so this guy eventually becomes one of the Rangers, and I'm a huge fan of its Super Sentai counterpart, so this one is one that I'm very fond of in terms of suit design. And when it comes to these Rangers, the Silver Ranger is my absolute favorite, and if they wanted to get crazy with it and throw in his non-morphed form, his Xenowing form, I would be very much interested in that. But I think this suit design, not only being a Silver Ranger, but just the helmet for this particular Ranger, would be a great entry in this line. All of these Rangers from Dino Charge, personally, would be ones I would absolutely snatch up. Those are some of the only figure arts I still have on display right now. They're back there somewhere. And I think that this one would be a great way to start off going into the Dino Charge even further. We've already got Red, so it would be a good one to have him as maybe like a next level up. Next up is maybe the goofiest one on the list, and it's really because he's so different and because of the kind of goofy nature of it, and that would be from Power Rangers Turbo, the Blue Centurion, or Signal Man as he was called in Japan. And Turbo was a parody series in Japan, so it's a lot goofier than it may seem at first glance, and it's obviously kind of a weird one. But the design on this guy, I think, would be really fantastic. We know Hasbro can do, robot kind of guys. His color scheme is wacky, and his design is just weird, and I love weird, goofy action figures. So there's no doubt in my mind that if we were to get this one, that he would be a big seller, just because of the fact that he does look so weird, and he is different. But then again, there's also the fact that Turbo isn't maybe the most popular either, so who knows. Going to a mainline Ranger, and this one is only because of the helmet design. I do like the suits in this show in general, but the helmet design for Wild Force Blue always does it for me. It's a shark, you can't really go wrong with it. So the kind of stripe design we have for these suits would make for great figures in general. They've got that really slim, sleek bodysuit design, but this figure would have its own unique helmet sculpt, of course, with those shark teeth running along the side, the vibrant blue colors. It's a winning combination. You can't go wrong with a shark-themed action figure, and this one would be just an instant seller. I would be all over this figure. Another mainline Ranger that I would really be interested in, and let's be honest, when it comes to the mainline Rangers, if you like one, you're really going to want all of them for the most part, unless you're just really keyed in on one specific Ranger. And I'm a big fan of the suits for this season in general. It's not my favorite season by any means, but the RPM suits have always been interesting to me. They're very specific, they're very unique. The suits on their own are quite unique, and the helmets are really, really cool just in general. But the Black Ranger from that season has always stood out to me. I think it looks really sleek with the belt design, the color scheme. It looks a little bit more simple than the other Rangers, and I think that they would do a great job with this one. You know, I think they do a great job with probably all of them. We know just from experience now what this line can bring to the table. But something about that particular suit in this line would be an instant winner for me. A more unique Ranger is one that I feel like I just really want to see in this line. It just because he is different and he is, again, a unique, and that would be Lightspeed Rescue Titanium Ranger. You know, this guy is a made for the USA Ranger, so he didn't exist in Japan. He's got a very unique look compared to his other Ranger counterparts. His silver design with the V helmet, just that whole kind of silvery gold color scheme that he has going for him, would be really cool to see in figure form, not to mention the fact that I just like the idea behind this one where he was made specifically for the US market, so he is very much a Ranger apart, so it'd be kind of a cool nod to give him a figure in this line sooner rather than later. Switching gears a bit to the more extra heroes, allies type of side of things here. Operation Overdrive, a show that I'm very much not a fan of in really any capacity. It just doesn't do it for me. But the Sentinel Knight character from this show, I love everything about the design. He basically, you know, is kind of like a Zord or mech that's scaled down to be more human-sized, and that's really all you need to sell me. So if they were giving us Zords in the 6-inch scale, basically, this guy would fit in right alongside that. I love his design. I love his very kind of knight robot style look. I love his color scheme, the kind of gold orange. And you can't tell me that Hasbro wouldn't do a great job with this one. We know they can do robots again, just like with the Blue Centurion. This is the kind of thing that I think they would really excel at to bring out all of the sculpt and details in this particular character in a really fantastic 6-inch package. My favorite suit design from Dino Thunder would be the next one, and that would be Dino Thunder White. This one, I mean, it's just an awesome suit design. You really can't go wrong. That's basically my entire basis for wanting this guy sooner rather than later. I really like Dino Thunder in general. Big fan of the suit design. Love the Black Ranger in particular. I mean, you know, it's a Jason David Frank Ranger, so there's that whole thing there as well, but it's a cool design. But the White Ranger in this show, in this season, just looks fantastic. He's got the stripes, he's got that really sleek helmet, he's got the shield on his chest. Everything about him screams like an awesome design and one that we would really, really benefit from having in this line. I think it would go really nicely with some of the other 6th type Rangers that we're going to get. We've already got White, you know, we're going to get Green Rangers, stuff like that. They would go really, really nicely together. All of those Rangers that wear that big armor and shield. So we've already got Shadow Ranger from SPD. There is another SPD Ranger that I would really, really like to get, and that would be SPD Cat, which was Deca Swan in Japan. So this one just looks unique. I really like the design. I like the white color scheme. I guess that's kind of a theme going on. I like the White Rangers a lot when it comes to different seasons, but I love her helmet design. I love the kind of flowing nature of it. I just really like everything about the way this one looks. Plus, I'm very interested to get as many female Rangers as possible in this line, because those routinely are lacking, at least from Bandai. So it'd be really, really cool to get one of the more unique and slightly different styled female and White Rangers right up front, right out of the gate. Get her to us now. Now this next one is probably better served in a 2-pack. It would certainly make more sense that way. But if I'm sticking with single Rangers, at least for now, then this one would have to be my pick out of the two. So Ninja Storm offered up the Crimson and Navy Thunder Rangers, and I would always go with the Navy one. Just something about that color scheme, the Navy, the gold, that particular helmet design. I'm a big, big fan of it. I'm honestly not really sure why, because the Ninja Storm suits have never been a huge thing for me, but I really, really like this one, and I'm sure it comes mostly down to that color scheme. It really does something for me. So it's probably not much more in-depth than that. I like the way that Ranger looks. I'd like to get him now. Now this last entry, well, there's one more, but it's going to be something a little different. This last entry, I guess maybe doesn't really count. It is more of a really, really hopeful scenario, depending on what is available. So in Super Megaforce, we had the ability for the Rangers to call upon the powers of Rangers from past seasons. So they could use their Ranger keys and become different Rangers from years past. This also included, because of how the original Japanese show worked, this included suits we've never seen before in Power Rangers. Stuff like the other Die Rangers, which is where White Ranger comes from. Or characters from Mask Man. I think Flashman was in there, Dynaman. What I would really like to see is if in some way, shape, or form, there would even be a possibility to get any one of those other Rangers in this line. If I could get the entire Die Ranger team in the Lightning Collection, I'd be about as happy as possible, I'd say. But any one of them. So pick any one you want, throw it in that list, and that would be about where I stand. And then as a final, maybe bonus thing, the last thing that I would like to see is maybe like, this would be like an exclusive almost. So a 3-pack of the Spirit Rangers from Jungle Fury. So the elephant, the bat, and the shark. They are incredibly unique. They have very, very distinct colors, very, very distinct styles. The helmets alone are definitely where it's at in terms of their design, but this would have to be something like a store exclusive, an Amazon exclusive, a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, something like that, a con exclusive somewhere, Power Morphicon exclusive, assuming that still exists anymore. But that would be my pick right now as far as a soon to be released exclusive. Something tells me we're going to get something MMPR this year at San Diego. I'm sure something's coming. But if I had to pick a big kind of blow it out of the water exclusive, it would have to be this, just because it's a very contained set, it's very specific, it's very unique, and it offers 3 amazing designs. So that's my, well, it's certainly not 10, but it was 9 and then 2 really weird entries towards the end. So like I said, some of these are kind of weird, some of them are not maybe what you might have been expecting, things like that. Just sort of different characters and figures that when I thought about stuff that I'd like to see sooner rather than later, these are what popped into my mind first. Again, I know that we're going to get Mighty Morphin and we're going to get Zeo. We're going to get those. But those would be my ultimate picks if I had to just rattle them off. These are exactly what I wanted. But as far as like the breadth and diversity of Power Rangers, this is where I'm at right now, and of course that could change tomorrow, but that's what I want to see as I sat down and wrote out this list. So let me know what you guys think. I'm sure some of these are maybe a little weird, but you know, that's what it is. And I'd love to know what you guys are looking forward to in this particular line. I'm very, very excited to see where this goes. I have nothing but the highest of hopes for this line, and I'm very, very positive that Hasbro is going to continue to nail it with these figures. And these are the Power Ranger toys that I've wanted since, what, 93. So that's it, guys. I'll catch you next time.